Okay, so today we're going to learn how to evaluate logarithms by using the change of base theorem. Now, for anyone who's got the new handy-dandy calculators, there is a button. Once you hit the math button and you look for the word log base, it will change the base for you. However, you might get an SAT question or a PSAT question on the non-calculator part, and they may say, set up this log to solve it using the change of base. So I'm going to show you what the change of base is, and then even if you have the newer calculator, you could still use the change of base theorem. It's almost as many buttons to push as if you use that math button. So on the first slide here, this is just a review of what we've already talked about. So this one, remember, whenever you see the word log and there's not a base written in here, this is, you're assuming or it implies that the base of this log is a 10. And we've already talked about this. Whenever you touch the log button on your calculator, it's always calculating it in base 10. The bottom of this screen is the same thing we talked about yesterday, and this is an L. So remember, the natural log of x is equivalent to the log base e of x. And we practiced with this in an example yesterday. So again, this is a fact that you need to memorize. But if you touch this button on your calculator, this is what it implies. Now we're going to see the change of base theorem. Now, the words I'm going to use here are, I'm going to use the word font, okay, because in the past I used to teach this saying big number divided by little number, but then sometimes the big number would really be the small number. So instead I'm going to use the word font. So like when you type things and you're changing the size of your letters, that's what I'm referring to when I talk about big font, little font. So for example, and I've rewritten this one, so the X is the bigger size letter, and then the A is the smaller font. So you're going to hit the log button and do log X divided by log A, and then that would give you the answer. You can do the same thing for the natural log. Now here's your first numerical example. So to use the change of base, you're going to write it as a fraction. So you would do the log of 7 divided by the log of 2. Big font divided by little font. And then you hit enter. Now, you can either key it in your calculator, use that alpha y equals button and make a fraction of it, or do log 7 divided by log 2 and then hit enter. Once you do that, you should be getting this decimal. So once you key this in your calculator, you're going to be getting approximately 2.8074. We're always going to round our answer to the 10,000ths place, so always round it to 4 decimal places. Now, if you have the change of base, the newer calculator, what you're going to do is you're going to touch the math button, then you're going to scroll down the menu until you see the word log base. You'll hit enter, and then it'll open up, and it'll say log, and then it'll have the cursor here for you to fill in. Then you'll move the cursor up and put in the next number. So for this example here, you would fill in a 2 here, and then the 7, and then hit enter. And you should get the same answer. So when you're doing this on the test, I don't care if you use the change of base or if you have the newer calculator where you can hit the math button and change the base. Let's try the next slide. So if I wanted to solve this one with the change of base, what I would be putting into my calculator is log of big font, which is the 9, divided by log of the little font, which is the 2. And this is approximately equal to 3.1699. Or we could also hit the math button, scroll down until you see log base, and then key it in. Log, fill in the 2, fill in the 9, hit enter, and you should be getting this decimal. Anybody need help? So to make sure that your answer makes sense, you could check it by taking your original problem, remember our Bay trick, So 2 to the x power, we're trying to figure out what x should be. I can't change the 9 to have the same base. So this is where I could try to check the answer I just got. 3 and make this maybe approximately 3.2. And then hit enter and see what you get. When you do this in your calculator, you're going to get about 9.18. So it's close to 9. So remember, we rounded this exponent up. So this would just be a quick check to see if you did it correctly. So these type of questions would be one that you could not have done without a calculator. So this is why we're using the calculator. So then the next one, again, you're going to do log of big font if you're doing the change of base, divided by the log of the little font. And this one should be approximately equal to negative, and round to 4 decimal places. Or you can hit the math button and then just key in the new base and the new number you're taking it up. Yes?
So for number 1, would our answer be what x is equal to, or what the equation equates to?
What x equals.
Okay.
You're solving for x. Answer before was negative 0.1647.
This isn't on the quiz, right?
This is not on the quiz. This homework is due Friday. Let's try 2 more. So again, if I do change of base, and again, you may see a question like this that will say, using the change of base theorem, set up the ratio you would solve. So then this would just be big font over little font. And then if it said just to leave it as a ratio, that's what it would be. But we're going to divide this, and we're going to get 1.0932. And then the last one, yes. And then the last one, big font over little font, or use the math key, either way, and you should be getting negative 22.0488. So this homework is all calculator. And I'll go back to that answer. Yes? The next slide says 35 through 41, but just do odds. So it's all calculator. It should probably take you about 2 minutes. It's not very many problems.